Folks, happy Friday, Warriors fans. Randy Silver, we have a new member of Warriors Digest joining us today. Arthur, introduce yourself really quickly.
Hey, what's up? My name is Arthur Ballesteros. Super excited to be part of Warriors Digest here. I'm somebody who kind of comes from the traditional radio background. I actually live in the Bay Area. I'm in San Francisco, just a couple of miles away from the Chase Center. And, I used to do a little bit of work over at 95.7 The Game, the Warriors flagship station, doing some fill-ins there. Worked for Sirius XM, doing a show called Sports Overnight America for years. But I've been doing music radio here, so some people who are in the Bay may remember me from K-Fog or 99.7 Now, Big Bay Mornings. But I'm super excited to be here on YouTube with Warriors Digest, just
Yes.
talking about the Warriors as they have like completely reinvigorated the Bay Area and the whole world. I mean, they've set the NBA on fire here. So I'm just super excited to be here for these last 19 games for this playoff stretch that's going to be coming. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And that's music to my music to my ears. Hopefully, fans, music to your ears. As I've talked about my journey, I'm graduating sportscasting school, and all we want to do here at Warriors Digest is make sure to give you the best Warriors content out there. Breaking news, real-time news, post-game, pre-game, everything in between. As I transition to the next part of my career, I'll tell you guys shortly when it's finalized. Arthur will be here to make sure everything is taken care of. So I'm not going away, but we want to make sure to have multiple people on this channel, morning, afternoon, evening, giving you multiple videos a day, and Arthur will be able to help out. And as he talked about, he lives in the Bay, he's around the Warriors consistently, and he's extremely knowledgeable, so I'm so happy to have him on.
But I mean, you have been doing such an incredible job to build this community. And I mean, I've been watching your videos since even before I became part of Warriors Digest here. And your post-game recaps are
Yes,
just
sir.
so on point. The way you bring energy to it, the way you break down exactly what's going on, and your mastery of the salary cap and your understanding there is really impressive. So I love the work that you do, and I'm just excited to be working alongside you here.
And let's dive into that work. Let's talk about the Warriors homecoming game. So let's talk about this. We have a homestand: Detroit, Portland, Kings, Knicks, Denver, Milwaukee. Easy start, tough finish. First
Right.
question, Arthur. What's the Warriors record in this homestand?
I mean, I think the only real trouble that you're going to have here is with Denver. So I'm going 3-1. I think that the Warriors are going to be able to beat the Knicks on their home floor. I know Cat is probably going to be coming back, I think today. So we're going to be playing them with Karl Anthony Towns. I think that's still going to be a tough matchup, but we still win. But I mean, I know Detroit is, I think they have like 34 wins on the
We
season, but we
actually have the
still
same
should
record
be.
now. We're
Oh,
tied.
do they?
Yeah, we're
Yeah. I
tied
mean,
35 and 28.
but
Good for
see,
good for Detroit.
Right, right. But I mean, I think that, on our home court, we're going to have an easy time with them. Portland, that should be an easy win there. Sacramento, of course, always tough. And when you have that NorCal rivalry going on,
Yes.
the energy that's going on there is always going to be something to watch for. But I think that we get 3 wins here. I,
So wait, there's 6 home games though, and you said we're 3-1.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking
So
about like, yeah, the first
so
four.
it's this first four we go 3-1. So we beat Detroit, Portland, Sacramento, lose to the Knicks prime time.
So then I only see 2 losses on this road trip here, or on this homestand here, and that's going to be with Denver and Milwaukee. Now, the Milwaukee one could go 50-50 there, but I'm going to call 5 wins there, 2 losses. 5-2. We have to start cooling off at some point here, although I don't want to see it, but it's just going to be a tough stretch here these next 7 games. But I mean, we've been doing incredibly well. Obviously, I think 12 of the last 14 games the
Yes.
Warriors have played have been on the road, and so they've done phenomenal. Obviously, the Jimmy Butler effect, the revitalized Curry. But there are some really tough matchups here with Milwaukee and Denver, and those are the only two that scare me. Otherwise, I think that we should be beating these teams handily.
I think you're right. I think we beat Portland. We beat Detroit. Sacramento, they beat us twice. We beat them once. We need this win. I don't think
Right.
it's going to matter in playoff standings anymore. We're too far ahead. But I don't like the Kings. No beef tonight. No beef
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah.
We get a 3
I
0.
hate the Kings. Yeah,
Uh,
turn that beam off.
Turn the beam off. The Knicks, they're going to have revenge after we beat them on their home
Mhm.
court. But I think it's a different game this time. And obviously, when that game comes up, we'll break it down. Karl Anthony Towns is back for that game. So it's a different team than you faced earlier last week. Denver is a terrible matchup for us. We can't guard Jokic well. That will be our
Right.
loss. Milwaukee, you know, I will say it's a win, but I'm concerned because Denver Milwaukee is a back-to-back Monday, Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
So it's going to
Right.
be tough for us. And then I say you end the homestand with a win against Toronto. Minimum 5-2, maximum 6-1.
6-1. Okay. I mean, I like that. I hope that you're right and I'm wrong because every game is going to count here during the last stretch. But, it's going to be tough. It's going to be fun. But also the X factor here, Kaminga could be coming back during
Yes.
this home stretch. Hopefully, if not tomorrow night, hopefully by Monday. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how he reintegrates himself into this new look Warriors team. It's going to be really interesting. And Kerr's going to have his hands full with trying to figure out how to juggle these lineups now. And hopefully they ease him back in. We don't need him playing 30 minutes a game right now. You've shown that we can do it without him, but it's going to be fun. So we've got reinforcements on the way. Hopefully, Podziemski, like that was just kind of a fluke injury from yesterday. So
Yes.
hopefully there's not going to be any issues there. But I know that, yeah, the road trip kind of banged us up with Gary Payton breaking his nose,
Oh,
Steph
boy.
rolling his ankle, Podziemski. Like it was rough. So it's going to be good to be home, hopefully at full strength, and finally getting Kaminga back.
And so the update on Kuminga per Steve Kerr, and this was before the game yesterday against Brooklyn, there's been no setback. The injury itself was more serious than anybody realized. And some of these things you can't predict. That's the one of the things I've learned during my time as coach, working with Rick Salbrini, the head of the performance staff. There's no exact recipe for coming back. He's been doing practices with the team. He's now doing full 5-on-5 practices. So I think he's back on Monday. I feel like in my heart, Monday is when he comes back. You really don't need him against, I mean, maybe when I'm against the Pistons, but against Portland, an easier team, he can get his sea legs back against him, and really, hopefully, he's clicking by the time the Knicks come at the end of the week.
Right. And then once you get him in the mix there, I mean, you're just so dangerous on the wings there. When you've got, Moody, you've got Kaminga, you've got guys who can get to the basket there. Finally,
With
somebody.
his over, oh boy.
Yeah, dude, but Buddy Hield has been driving me crazy all season, but especially last night, I'm glad to see that Kerr has gotten to the point where he's not afraid to yank him early. I think you looked at earlier in the season,
Yeah.
and he was kind of just giving him kind of like the Clay treatment, giving him a chance to shoot out of the funk that he was in. But, Buddy has just been a flop overall here this season. I'm not a fan whatsoever. I hope that they're going to be able to find a way to get out of his contract at the end of the season because I think he still has like 2 years
Yes.
left here.
Yes.
So yeah, and I mean,
It looked like a
look.
steal at the beginning of the season. Now it looks like
I
it's
know,
been oh boy.
I know. He's gonna have to find a way to get going because he is gonna be crucial when it comes to playoff time. Because you're gonna need somebody who can space the floor off the bench, who can make some threes. So hopefully he can kind of get his act together. But I have zero faith in Buddy Hield right now. I want his minutes going to other people, and Kaminga can absorb some of those minutes there. But no more Buddy Hield.
So Buddy's got 9 million guaranteed next season, and then 2 years from now, so 26-27 season, 3 million guaranteed on a team option. So they could cut him in 2 off seasons from now. And
Yeah, and
they
well,
go back. Sorry, continue.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say Kuminga coming back though. The starting lineup has really been Steph, Brandin, Butler, Moody, Green. Do you think Kuminga jumps in, or does he start on the bench and work his way back into the starting lineup, even if he ends up starting?
Now, he definitely needs to start on the bench, work his way back in. Because I mean, it's also like I don't think he was coming off the bench a lot before. I think he had only like started 10 games or so. So even though he's getting like 28 to 30 minutes a game, he's somebody who that you can bring off the bench. And that's also a factor as well. Like if you've got Kaminga coming off the bench, the second unit now is just full of energy, guys. It's crazy with the development of Quinten Post. You look at what Gee has been doing over the
Yes.
past few games here. You add Kaminga to the mix there, and then you're able to either rest Jimmy or Steph during and have one of those guys on the floor with them. I mean, that's a deadly lineup of energy in and of itself. So I say you bring him back slow. No reason to rush him at this point. We're going to make the playoffs. We're just fighting for seeding at this point, but let him get his sea legs, as you said. Give him a chance to catch up here.
Kuminga averaging 17 points a game, 1 steal, 2 assists, 5 rebounds. I agree. I think bring him off the bench to start. Warriors are cooking with Jimmy Butler. No need to rock the boat, and he hasn't played since early January. He needs to get some rhythm, but also the team now needs to reform around him, just like they reformed around Jimmy.
Right, right. And he's somebody too, if you're bringing him off the bench, you've got an opportunity for not only is there somebody who can get to the rim and attack in that sense, his three-point shooting has also really improved this season. I think he's shooting at like a 35% clip. So he's somebody who can come off the bench and hopefully kind of be that heat check guy and get some threes for you, space the floor a little bit, unlike Buddy Hield, who is just not able to do that right now. So you also, can't discount that element of his game.
And I was one of the people in the offseason, I know I see in the comments a lot, I predicted Kuminga shooting the three at 38 to 40%.
That's high.
He's not done it. It's been better, but he doesn't need to do that now with Quinten Post's emergence. He needs to get to the bucket. He needs to slash, and that'll continue to open up the three. Buddy will make his shots finally, hopefully. But Quinten Post has really changed what Kuminga needs to do for this offense.
Right. And that's a great point. I mean, Quinten Post, I think, has been, I'm not going to say he's not as big of an addition as Jimmy Butler has been, but just over the past, 10 games or so, the emergence of him and what he can bring to the team has just been incredible with, not only being able to space the floor, hit some of those threes. I think he's shooting around 40% there, but also he's surprising me. He's playing some solid defense. He's defending the paint well. I don't remember really the last time that we had a 7-footer who was as legit as Quinten Post. And when you look at the NBA right now, Bogut, that's what, 10 years ago? Yeah. And I mean, we thought we had somebody like that in Wiseman. Obviously, that was a bust, but Quinten Post has just been such a revelation for this team. And I got to give Dunleavy props because I am not a Dunleavy fan whatsoever. I wasn't until just recently here.
The comments will like you saying that.
Okay, good. Well, because I've hated Dunleavy ever since 2002 when we drafted him. He was just such a bust for us. And then when he took over the reins as GM, I'm like, here we go again. He's just going to flop. He had huge shoes to fill. But his first draft picks with, drafting Podziemski and getting Quinten Post in the second round, I mean, I got to give him his props here. He's doing a good job. And obviously being able to get Butler over here was just, I mean, he really did some magic there with not having to give up that much.
Correct. And you'd have to say, Pat Spenser on the 10-day contract. Sorry, a two-way player. Him over. G League team is looking good. He doesn't control the G League team, but as the GM of the whole organization, you really have the final say in everything happening. So, Arthur, I think fans are seeing the knowledge you have. They're going to be really excited to have you on this channel consistently. Is there any final things left on this video to bring up?
I mean, I'm just excited. I think the Bay is starting to buzz here, and it wasn't before. I mean, when I would go anywhere to the barber shop or whatever, it used to be back in the day, everybody's talking about the Warriors. Everybody's talking about what's going on with Steph, with Clay, and especially after that championship year. But it had really died down. So I'm just so happy to be coming along here. I mean, you've been doing the grunt work as we slogged through the season here to barely a 500 record. And I'm just, appreciative to be jumping in here when we're really starting to click on all cylinders and the Bay is just buzzing. So I'm just as excited as everybody in the comment section, everybody watching is. I'm just a true fan of what's happening here. And I just can't wait to see how far this team is able to go.
Hey, one team, one dream, baby. Go Dubs.
Hey, Warriors.
So, I mean, first off, you can hear his radio voice there. So again, I'm not going anywhere, but we wanted to bring someone else on the channel who's very knowledgeable about the Warriors, who has a strong pedigree in the Bay Area media scene doing the radio to help continue to give you the best videos on a daily basis. So myself, Arthur, I know you guys know Ben Rogers from helping out with Trade Deadline, the CEO of Digest Media stepping in. Ultimate goal here is to get Warriors Digest, the #1 Warriors YouTube channel ever. And Arthur, we're so happy to have you here to help us get there.
Oh man, it's an honor. I really appreciate it. Really looking forward to it.
All right, fans. So, game tomorrow against the Pistons, not Portland. Portland's after. If news breaks about Kuminga playing, we'll have a video out. Anything is going on, Arthur's here for you. I'm here for you. And, of course, look for more dual stuff like this. Comment your thoughts. Let us know if you like it. And we'll always do the post-game recaps and everything. So, Arthur, so happy to have you on. And Warriors fans, let's go get that dub.
Let's go.